Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Michaela and I am finally going to video the Sofia sporty top. Yeah, I had a lot of requests and today I have a free day from work, so I've decided to video this nice cute pattern. So I've got here all my parts. As you can see, this is my front. These are my two front pieces. I've got the main fabric and the lining, so lycra here. This is my back piece, the same main fabric and the lining, and I've got here my underbust band as well. We're going to start right away, and what I'm going to do, I am going to place the main fabric on top of my lining, and I am going to pin my my underarms, my all around the back part, the curvy back part. So I'm going to show you. I am going to pin my underarms, my curvy back part, and the other underarm. And first, if you've watched any of my videos, I always like to do a bust stitching first before serging it. It's just so much easier afterwards to serge it, right? What is a bust stitch? Is just simply a straight stitch with the highest stitch length, and its only purpose is to hold the two fabrics in place, the two, well, my lining and my lycra, without moving, because under the serger sometimes it might be moving, so it's just so much easier. Usually I do add elastic, but since this is just a demonstration video and I will not be using this top right now, I will not be adding elastic, but like I said, it's only optional and you can always add it. I use usually rubber elastic, but if you don't have, you can use braided elastic as well. So now I'll be doing the same thing for my front pieces, right? And what I'm going to do, I am practically going to pin this long bit and the curvy bit. I will be leaving the sides and the bottom part unstitched, the same like in the back. I've left the sides and the bottom part unstitched. Why is that? Because obviously we will be adding the underbust band, and of course by adding it we do not need to stitch it from the inside. So this is an invisible stitch. We call it, I call it like that, sorry, not we, I call it like that. You can always use a zigzag stitch and a fold over, sorry, like a normal, when you adding the elastic, you'll be using a zigzag stitch or serged, and then you'll be folding it over if you prefer. This is another technique to use. I prefer this one, but yeah, in many of my videos I did show how to do these both kind of stitches, but for today I'll be using the what I call the invisible stitch. So I went right away and I pulled my sew machine and I'm testing my new thread clipper. Okay, so I'm going to set my sew machine on highest stitch length, normal straight stitch. I will be showing you on camera just one side of what I mean by bust stitching, and I will be doing it I will be doing all the rest off camera so the video is not eternally long. So as you can see, I'm trying to go as close as possible to the edge, and I'm not pulling the fabric, I'm just guiding it, and then make sure I'm covering the two layers of fabric in the same time. Okay, so next thing I am going to do, I'm making these little small cuts into the fabric like that every few centimeters. Why? Because this stitch is actually not meant to stay, let's say, like that. You'll either have to cut it or remove it. I prefer cutting through, so it allows stretch to my fabric. So I'm doing this on both sides, as you can see. And now that I'm done, I'll be doing all the rest off camera. So I'm going to tell you one more time. I'm going to do the curvy part and repeating the same thing for my other side of the top, right, which will be my left side of the top, and like I said, all around the back and on the arms for my back piece. Please do not turn anything on the wrong and the right side together yet. I'll come back and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so I've serged my front pieces and my back piece. I've got here my back piece serged. Like I said, I did not add elastic. And here are my two front pieces, right? Now I'm going to turn on the right side of the fabric the front pieces, just the front pieces. And first thing what I'm going to do, I am actually going to make a straight stitch over my, let's say, shoulder areas. Why? Because in this way I will secure the two layers of fabrics and they will not be moving, so it will be easier to introduce them into my back piece. So let me just show you my two front pieces here, turned on the right side of the fabric like that. And next what I'm going to do, so I will be doing a straight stitch here, and as well I will be doing a straight stitch to the side and straight stitch on the bottom part of the top. I will not be obviously recording this, since it's just a simple straight stitch just to secure the two layers of fabric. Once I'm done, I'll come back to show you the next step. Okay, so I have my straight stitches done, like I said, on the shoulder area, to the sides, and on the bottom part. And before we will introduce it into the back piece, first what I'm going to do actually is to trim this little excess fabric from the straight stitch, right? And as well, I've already marked on my pattern, I've marked to unify the two front pieces, right? So you see I made a little straight line here, so I place it over my other side, right? And I will go now to the sew machine and I will be doing a straight stitch over that. So in this way the two front pieces are not, let's say, moving away from each other. Okay, it doesn't really matter which side comes over the other. I just placed one which was actually easier for me. So now we have, like, let's say, an entire front piece, yeah. And what I'm going to do next, I am going to introduce the front piece inside of my back piece. So how I'm going to do this, as it's a crossed seam, obviously this part will have to come here and this side will have to come here. So I'll go one by one, that it's not too complicated. And I'm going to search if I have a safety pin somewhere. I used to have a safety pin. So if you have a safety pin, you can use it to introduce it into the back piece. I didn't find my safety pin, so I'll just be doing this with my hands. So it is a little bit trickier without the safety pin, but definitely possible. So I've brought the front piece into the back piece, one side, and I'm going to my sew machine, and I make sure that they are matching together underneath. So obviously lycra with lycra, lining with lining. And first I'm just going to do a normal straight stitch with the highest stitch length, and then I'm going to reduce the stitch length, turn it on the other side to make sure that I'm covering enough fabric. And here I am going to do back and forth stitching, so my stitch is very secured. And then I trim this side. So once I've done one side, I'll come back into my initial position because I do not want to get, let's just say, confused, right? Because you see the fabric is like kind of turning around. So now I will take the other side and I will be doing exactly the same thing, but with my help of my loop turner to actually make it a little bit faster. So I'm taking and I'm pulling just like this. Solutions, quick solutions. Okay, and here it is. Like before, the one straight stitch with the biggest stitch length, so it's easy. Then I turn it to check if I've covered all my layers, which I did, and I reduce the stitch length. Back and forth stitching. And I'll be trimming the excess fabric. And in this moment I can actually turn, let's just say, my back piece. I will turn it on the right side as well. This is the moment. So here's our seam and the other seam. And now, moment of the truth, checking whether we've got all the sides on the right side of the fabric. Let me just check. That's one side, and something got twisted. No, nothing got twisted. Here it is. I've got here my front, got here my back crossed, and now I'm going to turn it on the other side, right? And I will be kind of like sandwiching. So we want to stitch the sides, so I will be sandwiching the sides like that of my front piece, and I want to match obviously lycra with lycra, but not only lycra with lycra, the seams I want to have them as close as possible, right? And the same, I will be having a highest stitch length, right? And I want to make sure that everything is really lined. So once I've done this straight stitch, I'll go ahead to my serger and I will serge it just so it's better secured. Of course, if you do not have a serger, what I recommend you to go over again and do the do another straight stitch. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to match the fabrics together and I'm going to do a straight stitch. Once I'm done, I'll come back to show you the next step. Okay, so I've stitched both of my sides of the top, and now I'm going to turn everything on the right side of the fabric. My sides being already stitched. That's already a great step. The top is almost ready. So next thing what I'm going to do, I'm just going to tell it to you. I'm going to do a straight stitch over, I'm going to turn it like that so you understand it better. I'm going to do a straight stitch over my lower part of the top, right? And only in the back part because the front is already has. And I will be folding the band in two. So for this underbust band, I will not be adding elastic, although I did show a lot of videos where I'm attaching as well an elastic band. I recommend you to check some of them. In most of them, almost, I show it. Very easy procedure. Once I've done this thing, I will be folding it like that into, turn it on the right side and folding it like this into, and I will be pinning it and doing a straight stitch all along. Why? To secure the two layers of fabric. Afterwards, we will be attaching it to the top. Okay, so I'm quickly back. I've got here my top prepared and my underbust band prepared, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to place the underband kind of like over the top, right? And I'm going to match my seams together, and I am going to pin all around the underbust. And please have in mind that usually the underbust is slightly smaller than the rest of the top. I mean, really only very little. So when you will be pinning it, please stretch a little bit the underbust band. All right. So for this step as well, you can actually do a bust stitching, but since I've got already my two bust stitchings done, both top and underbust band, I feel like it's not necessary anymore. So I will just go ahead straight to my serger and I will be serging it all over. Wait. Okay, so this is the last step. I'm just going to show you the first part. Well, I will show you everything because since I have an industrial sewing machine, it's all very fast. So I'm placing it, and like I said, I will be slightly stretching my band whilst I'm attaching it. So when you're attaching the underbus band, it's always really important to make sure that you're really covering all 4 layers of fabric. Okay, top is ready, and I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. Finally, I could show you how to do it, and I'm so happy that this has been done. And if you have any questions, please feel free to write me on the messenger. I'll be always happy to help. If not, happy sewing.